What's going on, guys? It's Greg Farley from the Wiseguys, and I'm here with yet another video. This time, we got a little bit of a roasting session today. We're going to talk today about something we need to talk about. Are you a casual player? Are you a meta player? Are you somewhere in between? Are you almost out of the casual territory? Are you almost out of the meta territory? Are you going backwards? Are you going forwards? There's no such thing as pro. Just play the game. Enjoy the game. Enjoy your friends. Enjoy why we play this game. But without further ado, let's jump straight into it. If you're a casual player, and this is for you, if you're a casual player, enjoy the game. If that's all you want to put into it, have no problem with that. Enjoy the game. Enjoy what the game brings. The friends from around the world that you see at big events, the many people that you come into contact with, that you don't have to worry about your stuff getting stolen. Konami, get some security, please. Let's get back to the subject. That's my fault. Sorry. I just had to let that out. Security, you need to get it. Get it together, Konami. But anyway, when you're a casual player, and getting back into on the serious subject, if you're a casual player, stop taking to heart when you lose. If you're a casual player and you're not going to adjust to the meta or adjust to what's coming, take the loss. There's a lot of these guys on Dueling Book. I shout out to Dueling Book. I don't know why I'm shouting them out. That place is horrible. There's maybe 50 good players on there, and you have to fight through blood, sweat, and tears and all kind of gunk just to get to that level to play actual competition that you can actually practice against. So I use it for my teammates, but that's neither here nor there. The casual player has a bad problem, and they also have a good insight on the game depending on what type of person they are. If they're the type of person to play Madolche, to play Batteryman, and just enjoy, they go X2 at the locals, If you're enjoying the game, there is absolutely zero problem, and actually the casual player is the most important player because they buy everything, There's always that guy that never going to play a meta deck, but he has impermanence in his book. Gotta love that guy, because that guy helps the competitive players stay alive, and then that person can get some money in their pocket, blah, 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 blah. Just don't do it at your locals. But in touching on the other type of casual player, there's the casual player that cannot take a loss. And that is the most irritating Yu-Gi-Oh player in the world. There's plenty of them. Trust me, there's plenty of them. There's also plenty of lifelong friends that I'll have forever. At least I'm speaking on my behalf. But there's always that guy that is playing something off tier that gets furious. And I don't understand that person for anything. If you want to do anything in life, whether it's, let's take baseball. When you were a kid playing a certain sport, let's just take baseball being one of them. If you had a bad glove or a bad baseball bat, and you were trying to play Little League, and the team didn't provide it, and at least when I played, you had to get your own bat. Stop complaining if you're not putting that work in or not putting money in. You get in what you deserve. You get out of it, excuse me. Let me correct that. You get out of it what you deserve. If you're not focused that hard, you don't take Yu-Gi-Oh that seriously, then just enjoy the game. Enjoy it, honestly. Enjoy the game. Because that's really the reason why I play. I'm hyper competitive, and I'll touch on that later. I'm hyper competitive, and that's usually where the meta players are. But I also enjoy my friends. I'm thinking about Collector's Cash. Shout out to Collector's Cash, one of the best locals in Kansas City. Last night on a Wednesday, we had at least, I want to say 28, 29 people for a local tournament on a Wednesday night in the middle of the week after people are getting off work. That's awesome. That's why we play the game. That's why I enjoy that more than anything, is to see my friends, shoot the breeze with them, enjoy a good solid game, enjoy getting sacked by something random, because that's the time when you get to experiment, enjoy, laugh. That's stuff that you can't buy that. Honestly, hanging out at a tournament, even if you're not playing in the tournament, just hanging around your friends, that's just awesome. That's cool. But then there's that person that's playing for hire. I'm not even, no disrespect for hire. For hire is actually a decent deck, but there's that person that's playing something way off tier. I mean, way off tier. Like I can't even think of a bad deck right now. Like Fable with Dark Worlds or something awful like that, and they get frustrated when they get destroyed by something like Trickstar Sky Striker. Yeah, duh. That was gonna happen. I don't know what you thought was gonna happen, but if you're not playing meta, you don't always have to play meta, but you have to adjust to it. That's anything. You have to adjust to what's competitive and be able to differentiate and be able to see, okay, how can I attack this? How can I go about, handling this? Because if you're not doing it, what are we doing? What are we really doing? What are you doing? Secondly, there's the meta player. And I want to touch on the casual players one more time. The casual players that just enjoy the game, they're the most important person in the game, actually. If you're thinking from a Konami perspective, they don't care about meta players. They don't care anything about you. I mean, yeah, you dump some money into the game, but it's actually the casual player that keeps the game going. So, shout out to the guy with the random impermanence in his book. you're gonna you're gonna appreciate that guy, when he trades it to you because he doesn't have any need for it, or so on and so forth. That's how I got my ass blossoms. Just a guy just kept pulling them, and I had the trades or the money for him, and that was that. But the meta player, there's always the hyper competitive player, and I've been guilty of this in the past. But there's the hyper competitive player that can't accept the loss and learn from it. Some people, they don't adjust to anything, and when you don't adjust to anything, that's a major issue, because you have to be able to humble enough to take the loss. See, what did I do wrong? What did I do right? You're not going to win all the time, even if your deck is the best deck and you build it the best way possible. You're still going to lose. Nobody's ever 2-0'd everybody in a tournament. It's never happened ever. In a major tournament, that's never happened. So you have to be able to figure out how to adjust on the fly. Not that I'm also not saying this like I'm the best player in the world. This is what people have told me, and this is what helps me get better from certain players, including players on my team. Most definitely players on my team, because when I started the Wiseguys, and I'm talking all of us that originally started it, I'm not trying to sound selfish or anything, but there was players that were better than me, and I had to be humble enough to say, hey, this, shout out to, like, okay, I'll take Trey Faircloth, Bobby Potter. Those are two of the homeboys on the team, and there's plenty more. I could talk Sky, and I'm talking to everybody on the team. But there's players that have been there and done that. And when you want to be there and get an invite, at least, I was talking when I was a scrub and didn't have an invite, and we had the team going, I had to humble myself. You have to humble yourself. So for that meta player, you have to humble yourself. And there's a lot they can't. They're not going to learn. They're not going to learn. They're the person that spends $600 on a deck, gets destroyed at a big tournament, and sells it for half the price. That happens far too much, and their vendor's best friend, because they can read the salt and pick you apart like a vulture. You have to be able to accept your losses. So I blog for MMA. I'm an avid martial artist. I blog for MMA. And a lot of times there's guys that make excuses, and this is obviously different. I'm just talking in terms of another realm that I'm involved in, where I see the exact same ideology, where people can't accept a loss. Like, they get knocked out and they said, well, I was doing well up until then, and then I did this or I did this, and the guy's not better than me. Well, yeah, he is. He knocked you out cold. Cold cocked you. Knocked, put you to sleep. You're almost not breathing. The ref woke you up. What are you really doing if you can't accept why did you get knocked out? It's the same thing with Yu-Gi-Oh. Why did I just get 2-0 in 5 minutes, 10 minutes? Why can I not beat Trickstar? Why can I not beat Goki? Why can I not beat this deck? Why can I not beat that deck? Why is Spiral picking me to shreds? These things are the things that are very important for players to understand. And if you don't adjust to that, you're not going to get any better. This is just speaking from a player that just wants to get their invite. I'm speaking to that person. There's a lot of people that have their invites, you know, that definitely that just is what it is. But you also have to be able to be humble enough to get better on what you're not good at. So that was that. Lastly, there's the meta player that cheats. And if you need to cheat at Yu-Gi-Oh, I really don't know what you're doing with your life. Something is going on. It's soft, dusty, appalling, flabbergasting. I can't come up with enough adjectives. But if you need to cheat, what are you doing? I'm not ever calling anybody out in particular, but why do you care that much? Why are you chasing clout that much? You know, we just saw a couple big tournaments. It was two major tournaments where people cheated. Also so we'll count three because there's one in Magic where the person very clearly played a card that had a cost where he had to discard afterwards, and he very clearly cheated. What are you doing? What is that important? You know, obviously it's a little different in Magic. They're kind of playing for money, but in Yu-Gi-Oh, we're playing for a PlayStation 4. You wanna cheat so that you can go play with Kratos on God of War? Is that what we're doing? Really? Really? Got to do the Miz voice. Really? Is that what we're doing? So, in all of those situations, you have to understand what type of player you are. Shout out to Jeff McIntosh. He's the first person I ever heard say this. If you're casual, be casual. Don't get mad. Do not get mad when you get smacked. If you want to be meta, but you don't want to play that deck, if you want to be a better player and you don't want to play the best deck, then you have to adjust to it. If you want to play meta, play meta. Be humble enough to accept your defeat. Be humble enough to figure out, why did this happen? Why did that happen? This is just basic rant / tips that can maybe help you, help you identify who you are and attack that way. Because before I knew, I was the hyper competitive meta guy that was getting irritated and trading decks away. And then I figured out from certain players to stick with the deck, turn it every which way that you can, and get better. Once again, it's Greg Farley from Team Wiseguys. Make sure that you stay tuned because our jerseys, here they are on the screen. I know, it's breathtaking. I'm just gonna, moment of silence. Yeah, just beautiful. And the Wiseguys Field Centers, dope. I know you see it. Make sure you stay tuned, and we'll give you instructions on how to come about ordering them. The jerseys you can find me on Facebook, Greg Farley on Facebook. PM me, hit me up. I'll try to service you quickly as possible. But again, Greg Farley from the Wiseguys, aka Pegasus, signing out. YG baby, YG Seto Kaiba. Shout out to Seto Kaiba.